So, good morning and welcome back to another episode of Naomi's Scrappy DIY Retreat. I hope that you will look in the description below and check out the items that are needed and craft this along with me as we do this project. So, it's going to be a wreath that is going to be, you can use it inside or outside. The way we're going to make it, it's not going to make a difference. And so this was just something I've kind of seen floating around, and I wanted to try my hand at it and see how it turns out. So I am not quite sure what I'm going to use into it. So, sorry, my brain just kind of blanked on me. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be using. So I have some burgundy poinsettias. I have 2 of the white Christmas trees from the Dollar Tree. And then I picked up 2 of these picks that they're calling it heather, but they're very red and sparkly. Looks like it has some sort of round glitter on it. For some reason, these stood out to me. I was with my friend and she suggested I use these, but I don't know. Again, this one really stood out to me. And then these are the 2 ribbons I'm going to try to work together to make a bow for the top of it. So go ahead and grab your coffee. I've got tea this morning, so grab your tea, your coffee, hot cocoa, whatever you want to get started to do this, and let's get started crafting. So I apologize, guys. I am a hot mess, and I'm not quite sure why. And so I'm trying very hard to not say all the time, because I do it a lot more than what I thought I did. But when I listen to myself back, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's terrible. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take both of the trees out of their boxes. You will not need... Uh-oh, I think I just did a boo-boo. But let's see if we can work with it. I did not realize, and I should have, because this one definitely looks more iridescent than that, but I didn't realize that that was iridescent. So I guess we'll just see what happens. I was hoping for 2 white Christmas trees, but maybe this is why I picked up these instead. Or I should say also, because I think maybe they'll go together well. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ends off, and then I'm going to fluff them out. So I'm going to speed forward through this process because you don't need to see me fluffing it, and you can do it yourself at your own speed and convenience. And I'm really bad at fluffing trees. So hang just on a second and we'll speed through this and be right back. Okay, so that is kind of what it looks like, all fluffed out. Oops, I missed some. So I don't know why. I mean, I know you're supposed to put something, your topper on top, but the Dollar Tree's toppers are like super long. Like that's probably 5 inches. You could easily, I guess maybe to give it more stability. So you could either cut that off, or you could bend it over like I did. We may need that, so I'm going to leave it for right now, and I'm going to see if I can't weave these somehow together to get them to look like they're supposed to be a unified tree, which again, I picked up the wrong one, so I don't know. I may have to wait. Uh-oh, look, and all this is coming off. I may have to wait until I can go get another tree. So in the meantime, since this came off, I'm just going to hot glue this into place. I don't even know if my glue gun's ready yet. Nope. Oh, yep, it is good. So that way it doesn't continue to unravel, because this white unravelly bit is much nicer than looking at the metal. So I just needed a little bit of glue, and I put a lot. Anyhow, sorry, that was probably all up in your face. So I'm going to speed this up as I work on trying to get this to meld together, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that's actually really cute. I kind of like it like that. So I'm just going to keep going with it and hope it turns out. But anyhow, the original plan, like I said, was to use 2 trees that are white. You could do this with a different color tree. You could do this with the green colored tree. Your decorations, of course, would just depend on what you want based on the tree that you've chosen. And it looks like I need to put some hot glue on this one as well. So I'm going to hot glue that really quick while we're talking. Again, like I said, I've seen this this idea kind of floating around, and I like to do sometimes the little things that are not the norm. I do a lot of things that are the norm, quote unquote, and I just wanted to do something a little bit different this time, and so that's kind of what I'm planning on doing. So the plan is to have this upside down on a door or a wall. And so you really want, and I know I just spread all of those leaves out or branches out, but you do want to go ahead now and take that and flatten that, because you are going to have this against the wall or again the door. And so you're going to want it pretty flat. And then that will allow you to bring more branches forward. I apologize, because if you've been doing this with me, you're now doing an extra step, which you did not need to do. So I apologize. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. We can always fluff it up more later, however you want to make it look. And again, I'm not the greatest tree fluffer. I prefer a real tree, but I just right now cannot have a real tree. So so this is going to be the top and this is going to be the bottom, and I think the bottom, just like it is fine. And so now I just need to figure out exactly what we want to put on these branches, and we may want to also make them come down a little bit, like the tree is like weighted down by snow or something like that, in order to get some of these decorations to sit inside of it and to look like it's sort of a part of the tree, if that makes any sense. So let's just play around with it a little bit longer, and then we will go ahead. I need to go ahead and get my cutters to cut these, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and cut one pick apart, and so that all I have are these 5 loose, what they're calling heather, and I took the leaves off. I'm also going to take off the stem because I don't think we really need that. So you tell me so far what you think. This stuff flakes everywhere, so just warning you, you will be glittery, you will sparkle like the sun when you are done with this. So now I'm just going to put some hot glue on the back of this, and I haven't done anything like this before, so I'm hoping that there's enough area for this super glue. I don't know why I keep calling it super glue. I was crafting with a friend yesterday, and all day long I kept calling it super glue. So hopefully that's enough to stick to the branch. And I guess we did not need to do the leaves. As long as you do this part here, that stem part, because all you're going to do is stick it on top of that stem, it'll be fine. It's definitely enough. I wanted to try it first, and I wasn't quite sure. It's kind of hard when you're doing a video for somebody and you haven't done this before, but I think it's part of just being real, and then that way you can see, this trials and errors. You can see what worked for me, what didn't work for me, and then you can make your decisions based on, some of those observations. So this is a little tricky on the whiter ones to get it to stick down, only because the whiter ones have more bristle to it, and so they don't seem to necessarily want to stay. So we're gonna just keep holding on to it for a couple seconds, and I mean, it does stay after a while, but I just wanted to warn you, it sticks much better, it seems to the iridescent one. But if you bought your materials based on my list, you'll have both of them be white. Although I think I will go ahead and put in the comments whatever tree you want. This just happens to be the tree I decided to do. So I definitely don't want you to, you know, think you have to do it the way I'm doing it because this is yours. You know, I'm just giving you an example. I love Bob Ross, and so, you know, he's always making pretty much that comment of, you know, he's just, you make the trees however you want. If you want 2 mountains, put in 2 mountains. If you only want 1 mountain, put in 1 mountain because it's yours. So, as he would say, we're going to make a happy little tree today. And just play around with it and have fun. And see, we do have 2 trees here, so Bob Ross would be very happy with this because he always painted at least another tree beside another one because he said they need friends. So see, we've got our 2 friends already together. We may not need all 5 of them. So it just depends. Now, sometimes these are more flat. When you get them, you'll see if you choose this. So I kind of have to press them aside just to get that down. The one thing that I wouldn't say concerned about, but wonder is how this stuff is going to hold up with the glue, just because it is more of a oh my goodness, I can't think, because it's sparkly and loose, so it just makes me wonder how the glue is gonna adhere and how well it's gonna stay. So you may need to try it out first before you stick it outside. I don't know if that was your plan. But again, if you were under a stoop or something like that, that's not going to have a lot of rain, then you'll definitely have plenty of protection. So that way you don't have to worry about the rain taking off any of this. Now, what I don't know, because here's my bottom one, and I unfortunately put this one right here. So I don't know, but now I feel like I need another one. See, these are always the little quandaries. And I put him down a lot further than probably I should have. So again, this is yours. You play with it. I am just going to try to figure out where to put my last ones. And I'm going to speed through this because you do not need to see me trying to figure out, you know, what I'm going to do. And then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back, and I think you may have been able to see that I cut my last, and I have plenty here, but because it is smaller here at the end of the top or the bottom now of the tree of our wreath, I just went ahead and cut one of these heathers in half, and I like how that turned out, and so I'm fine with that. I really like this. I mean, it is cute. So now we just have to figure out the type of bow we want on top. I want it to go more neutral and black. And my friend actually suggested it because I was debating on what to use, because it's not really a red. And if I'd use the burgundy flowers, they're a darker burgundy. And I'm not really a big gold, but I'm not really a big flashy person either. But I thought this was kind of just a cute idea, so I wanted to try it. So I'm going to try to make a bow, so I'm going to also fast forward through that because I am not the greatest at bow making, and I'm not quite sure the look I want to give. Now, all of these items so far have been from the Dollar Tree, and this ribbon is not an exception. It's also from the Dollar Tree. So there's 3 yards on this one, and then there's 9 feet on this. So 3 feet. 3 yards is 9 feet, but I'm not sure why they say 9 feet on this and 3 yards on this one. It's the exact same thing. I don't know, but it is what it is. So I do like this. Now, I just said I'm not really a gold person, but they have these new Grosgain. They're kind of like a Grosgain in with the floral section, and there were 4 different kinds. One of them was the black and gold, and I'm so sorry. I didn't even think to take a picture of what those other four ribbons are, but they are so cute. And so I do like this. Like, it's the black and the gold, but the gold is very muted. So I just was thinking maybe like this with the chevron would be a really cute bow at the very top of our trees. So I have to find a way to hide all of this right here, because we now have, you know, these two posts, and just putting a simple ribbon isn't going to help. So what I may do is put some twine around it or some burlap, but I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do. So I'm actually going to pause this and try to figure that out and then come back to you. That way, when I come back to you, you'll know. And it's, like I said, it's also going to be in the description below, depending on what fabric or what choice I went with. So give me a moment and I'll be back. Okay, well, let's try this again. So I started videoing it again, and I looked up and my screen was blank. Somehow it shut itself off. I don't know. I'm not really an electronics person. So what I did do is I kind of cleaned up my area a little bit and tried to figure out the bow that I wanted. So because of the way the bow is, I wanted to go ahead and just do one of my loop bows, and it's just really easy. And so I was just going to show you, and why I do it this way is just so that none of the ends can come out. And so you just do a little bit of hot glue and then place that over top of it. Now, I love these little finger protectors from Dollar Tree, but the other little fun thing I wanted to show you is this silicone makeup applier in the makeup section. This is so helpful to get in smaller areas. It's helpful to just mash things down. And because it's silicone, it doesn't stick. And like on your little finger protectors from Crafter Square, if you get glue on it, it literally just rubs right off. Like, that's it. Sorry about my arm. I wanted to show you. You can get 3 of these Crafter Square little finger protectors in the Dollar Tree. And again, both of these items are in the Dollar Tree. It's super helpful for saving your little fingers. So now that we have the second one done, I went ahead and did 3 bows because I just wasn't sure that 2 would be enough. And then there's the third bow. So I kind of made them a little larger as they got bigger, and then hopefully they will fluff out okay. I don't know. Again, I'm not good at making bows. What I did do is I took some of my ribbon and just went, attached it in the back, attached it in a couple places along the ribbon until it was all the way around. That way I just have the ribbon right in the center of this one bow. That's all I wanted, and then I just wanted some tails of that. I went ahead and cut a few tails. I only cut 3, partially because this one has a small one underneath of it. If I do it right, it'll come out. Again, that's if I do it right. So now you just want to put them all together, and I probably should have hot glued these, which I didn't. So let me go ahead and do that now. And with burlap, sorry, there was a moment of silence. With burlap, you know, these are, because of the holes, you do have to really be extremely careful. See how much glue, okay, I don't know if you can see that or not. See how much glue is, there you go, on my finger protector. So just be super careful. And I know if you've watched my other videos, you hear me say it over and over, but I am one who will burn myself, like tremendously bad, so that I will have big white welts, and it's not pretty. So just, again, be careful. I just always want to reiterate and make sure people are using as much caution as possible. This one, this regular grosgrain ribbon, I'm actually just going to put underneath of it. And then once I gather this, I will glue that onto, with the glue gun, onto this. So all you want also is a piece of jute. And I know there's a lot of different ways to do it, but most of the time this is the way I find that I like the best. The difficulty, I will say, when you do the glue, is that if you put all the glue areas in the middle, which is what I did with this one, you will have a sturdier, less cooperative middle. So just consider that when you are, if you do this method. If you have another method of doing bows to make them look really pretty, I would love to hear it, because again, I struggle. And as you can see with this tutorial, I am really struggling. But you know what? I gotta laugh at myself, and that's quite all right. So I will clip those off. It's really not even, tight enough. I don't think. I don't know. I do need to go ahead and put some glue down because that grosgrain ribbon is moving on me. So we do not want that. So let's do that. And let's clip this jute off. See, most of the time when I do this, and of course because I'm trying to talk to you and do it at the same time, this turns out much smaller. See how much play is in that? And I really don't want that much play in it, but it's, I don't know, you know what, it's an extra piece of jute, so let me see if I can make this even tighter. And I must have let it go at some point and not realized it, because you just don't want all of that looseness in there. So I'm probably going to speed through this again. I probably am speeding through this so that you don't hear all this, but I will be back. So I don't know if you can see this, but again, these little finger protectors are amazing. Like, I used to use wooden popsicle sticks, which is great if that's what you have on hand, and that was what I had on hand until I found these. So, you know, use what you have on hand, but always protect your fingers. But this is just so much easier. It just takes you a little bit, and it comes right, like, you know, it's not like you're going to stick on it and you're not going to... It's just very helpful for your fingers. I can't say enough about them. Like, look at all that hot glue that's on there, and I just have to do that. And I probably should do this over the trash can so I don't make a mess, but it's done now. So I don't know if you saw that, but I put all the hot glue underneath, and then I just pressed it down. And when I did that, I pulled the other ribbon around. That way they could be in the front more and flared out a little bit more. The only thing I want to do with them is to cut the bow off midway. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess at it. What I also like to do ahead of time is go ahead and put my dovetail in. And I like to actually do these 2 at a time. And I don't know if I can do it since I've already put it on there. But that way both of the dovetails have, they both look the same. However, because I already had that attached, it's not working right, which is fine. So I'm just going to go in, match up my sides, and take out a triangle. And again, doing the same thing on this one, match up my sides, take out a triangle. And you can make that, and it's not really a triangle, you're just cutting at an angle, and you can make that as deep or as shallow of a cut as you want. Like, if you want it down further, you know, you go for it. I mean, it's really a preference in how you cut it. So, you know, that's just something you can figure out and do, and whatever works best for you is great. So I probably shouldn't fluff this bow yet until I get it onto the tree. I did find, and I really wanted actual burlap, but I did find a piece of the burlap ribbon. I think I got it at Walmart, but honestly, I don't remember. Sorry, I am just a hot mess for this video, and I don't know why. Like, I feel like I'm even out of breath. So, no, I don't have COVID. But it's crazy. Like, I don't know. So, all I'm going to do really is just wrap this around, hot glue it at the bottom, fold it over, and hot glue it at the top, because I just want, again, I just want this to be covered a little bit, and it doesn't have to really be covered a lot. So I wish I had finger protectors on all of my fingers, but then I couldn't work. So that's not going to work. So then just go ahead and fold this over. I'm going to go ahead and put some on the inside. And then I'm going to put some on the outside. So I put the glue at the top and the glue at the bottom. And this is just going to seal it off and give it a finished edge. The bow is probably going to sit like right here, so that this will just, I don't know, it's not really polished, but kind of. I just wanted to cover that metal, so that was what I decided to do. Wasn't quite sure what to do. I actually kind of like that. This would actually even be cute with just a burlap bow, I think. I mean, it's just really simple. I think it would. So let's go ahead and put it in the middle. Now that we've talked that out, just make sure you put a lot of hot glue on here. The good thing is you don't have to touch anything to do this part. I guess the good thing with me burning myself a couple minutes ago is that it was more on my nail, the side of my hand, and it hit my nail more than anything. So I guess I can call that a blessing, that it wasn't as bad as what it could have been if it would have gotten me, because like there's not even a blister there, but it was super hot. So I thought it was one of my worst ones, but it hasn't been, so that's good. So I hope I'm not a catastrophe every time you join me. Okay, so I love this. Like, I just think that is so cute. I hope you've enjoyed this. I know, again, I've been a hot mess for this whole thing. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you will come back. I hope you will like and share this. Look at my other videos. Like and share those as well. Hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified whenever I post a new video. I thank you so much for joining me at Naomi's Scrappy DIY Retreat. I'm going to take a picture of this and post this in the screenshot you see before you start watching the video, and what ends up being the thumbnail, so that you'll see what this looks like. Again, I'll probably fluff it a little bit more while I'm hanging it up, but this, I just love this. I mean, I think it is so cute. So I hope that you like it too. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you tried this. Let me know if you tried it with like a different color tree, the green dollar tree, or another tree you may have already had, or you could have spray painted a different color. But I actually love the iridescent and the white together. It came out much better than what I had expected, and so it was a fun surprise for me. So, you know what? It was a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say. So there's the tree, and again, I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day.